coming to you from the DTC. This is OCN Drives with Jeffrey Erbert.
It's sad, but I'd rather sleep in a car bed.
Graham Briggs.
What am I supposed to say? Stop making fun of my notes?
And Alex Bahl.
Power wagon. This just makes me laugh.
And now your host, Jeffrey Erbert.
Hey, Gearheads. Welcome to another episode of OCN Drives. I'm Jeff Erbert, and I'm with...
And I'm Graham Briggs.
And Alex Bahl.
And, of course, Josh, who is here with us today. This podcast is brought to you by ourcommunitynow.com, where you can find more on our thoughts on cars, culture, what's hot in the community, and more. So if you are curious to what's going on in Colorado... wait. Do we have a sponsor?
No, he just wants us to read something. I almost destroyed it because I thought that's what he wanted me to do. But he just wants you to read that.
We have to
feels like you also could have just said in the mic, "Hey, could you read that piece of paper?" Instead of walking in here pointing at it and us not knowing what's happening.
Josh is getting so hostile lately.
It's really hostile.
Do we have to report him to HR for hostile work environment?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, if you like what you hear with us, be sure to subscribe to our channel, ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. So make sure you ring it so that you see all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. So
Nice. We want those alerts to pop up.
we just made Josh happy.
Yeah, we did.
For once.
I mean, that's impressive for us.
know,
Ooh,
right?
we can even do another thing. Let's just talk to our listeners about going on to Instagram and following us on OCN Drives.
While you're at it, if you're sitting on the toilet right now, go on to Instagram and find us on OCN Drives for special behind the scenes footage and photos and
questions and like new cars that we like and all things car related.
yeah,
Fun
and
stuff.
you can just let us know what you honestly think about us because
I don't want to know that. Tell me lies.
I kind of like it when people are
honest.
Is
I like it when people lie to me.
is that called masochism?
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know, when people are honest.
But let's
me-
let's get these open.
Let's get cracking.
We should open together because we have the same.
Let's
same
do it
beer.
together.
Excellent.
One of our soundproof squares on the wall is down. No. All right. Makes sense. So that's why we're moving out of this building.
It's true. We are getting a new studio.
Yeah.
So don't go falling in love with our studio we got here.
Our
It's going to
decor.
be bigger and badder.
Is it weird that this is the first time I've noticed that glass pin business network?
That's the first time you noticed that?
Yeah, never noticed it.
It's acrylic, I think, too.
Yeah.
So on this episode of OCN Drives, Alex is awake for the first time,
Yeah, I got woke.
which is great.
That's what the kids call it. I'm woke now.
Yeah.
You're, the kids.
Yeah.
You're the youngest out of all of us,
The
you
youths,
jackass.
The youths out there, they say I'm woke now.
Exactly. Well, anywho, guys, today's podcast is going to be an interesting experiment. That's because we're just going to kind of riff on cars and see where the road takes us.
I mean, that sounds like what we do every podcast.
It's generally what we do,
But we normally
it's
have
kinda
at
like-
least a guideline, and now we have zero guidelines.
Yeah, typically we have a theme. None of us had time to come up with a theme, so we're free balling it.
free balling. The rails are off.
Yeah.
It's like Sunday afternoon.
We've taken our
when you-
underwear off, and they're just
Wait,
dangling in the
wait.
wind.
They didn't pay for that part.
It's true.
Anyway, it's kind of like those Sunday afternoons when you don't have anything better to do, so you hop in your GLA Mercedes and you just head west, or onto your motorcycle and you just head west and see where the road takes you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about just seeing where the road takes us?
That's cool.
let's do
I
it.
know Alex is itching to talk about something. I can see it in his eyes.
You can also just see it on my
And-
screen.
I'm gonna bet that it's Ford related.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Listen, it's not my fault. They just make the best cars right now.
Oh, my.
Oh my!
All right.
Back it up.
Okay.
Anyways, we can argue about that later. But so Ford has announced that we'll finally see the Bronco at the Detroit Auto Show this year, which is in June, I think. Yeah, so
June.
a couple months away. And kind of everyone's getting really excited. There kind of more renderings have been coming out, and it's pretty much confirmed that doors are coming off.
And roof is coming
off,
off,
which is
baby.
sweet. And there's two versions. There's going to be two versions of the Bronco, and it's essentially going to be a 2-door and a 4-door. So
excellent. I like the sound of that.
everything we've just said, if you just took Ford out of it, you'd be like, yeah, the Wrangler. But it's like, nope, it's a Ford.
And from the spy photos that we can see here, it does appear to have a nice boxy shape.
Yeah,
which I like.
This is the Ford Wrangler. They have 100% positioned this as the Ford Wrangler. We'll see. We'll see how it compares. Like if it's going to be more. I don't even feel like Wranglers feel like SUVs. They ride totally different. Than like sitting in like just like a Ford Explorer. Like the Explorer, which is the same size. They're both called SUVs, but like. They do not feel the same at all. Like they feel completely opposite vehicles. So it'll be interesting to see if this rides more like an on-road SUV, or if they're going to go. Maybe that's just the difference. It's on-road versus off-road, or if it's going to be they're actually going to go after Wrangler and be like, this. We're going to rip this off-road.
I hope it drives like absolute garbage on the road. If I'm being completely honest, because. That's one of the reasons why I like the Wrangler.
Yeah.
Why I like the Tacoma, because they feel like trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how this one rides.
Do you know if they're building it off of a platform?
Yeah, the Ranger. Platform? It's the Ranger platform. Okay. So it'll have the what is it? The 2.4 liter EcoBoost.
3 liter.
Yeah, EcoBoost turbo. There are also rumors that there might be a Bronco Raptor. Which people are pretty stoked about too.
A Bronco Raptor.
Yeah. Maybe not named a Bronco Raptor, but it's like it'll get the Raptor treatment. Which would be really sweet.
Are they just going to shove a V8 in it?
No, it would be a V6.
Speaking of,
that's what the Raptor is in like Australia. Although the new one actually has a V8.
That's what
did you read about
the
Australian Ranger Raptor with the V8?
Yeah. Oh. Which is that V8 in a mid-sized truck is what makes me really, 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 really excited for Ram bringing out a truck again.
Yes,
a mid-sized truck. Because they have the Dakotas had V8s.
Yeah, they did.
And it's like they would be out of their minds not to put a V8 in this market, because it's like it would just sell like crazy. People want V8s.
It would be a godsend. Yeah. Make America V8 again.
Yeah, that's put the Hellcat engine in it. And
yes,
it'll just be it'll kill everyone who owns
the
it.
Hellcat. Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no weight on the back.
There's
so if it's rear-wheel drive Hellcat truck. You're just going to die in that. It's going to be worse than a 911.
Oh, yeah. So, Josh, we just sent Josh a picture of this spy photo.
Oh, yeah. People have seen spy photos of the baby Bronco and the big Bronco. People are calling it the baby Bronco.
Yeah.
This is 2-door and 4-door.
Yeah. This shows, this one shows that it does have a cover, and it looks like that is going off, and this shows that it has 4 doors.
Yeah, it has an independent back cover.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
And then
they're just disguising it.
Yeah, they're just disguising it. Yep. Ford has gone so far with a lot of their new vehicles that they're essentially putting skirts on them, so you can't see the suspension anymore. It's like totally blocked off. Because it's like they just don't want people to know. Like, people have seen the new Fords spied on, and they all have the skirts on it because they don't want them.
My question is this: why don't they just have build an interior or in in a building, in a warehouse, and do all this stuff inside of a warehouse
because
so no one can spy
they
on
specifically it would be too expensive, and they need to road test all of these. The reason people find these, it's not like they're in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no, I know.
Sometimes they're just driving this down, downtown Manhattan.
Right? Yeah.
No. It's like. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah,
they gotta try them on every single road condition, and there's no financial way to do that unless realistically, all of them should just come together and build a course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not even though.
But I don't think it would be affordable for a single company to build
they have all those wind tunnels. I just can't. With technology nowadays, I just can't imagine.
And honestly, Graham, a lot of them do have some things.
And they probably do the starting.
Most of them, all of the manufacturers that have some type of sports car in their line all have a track somewhere.
Yep.
All of them that do off-roading, I know, have an off-road track somewhere, because you see spied pictures of that, and a lot of them have even been caught, especially recently with the Bronco coming out and stuff. I think Ford's been caught. I think GMC's been caught with Wranglers on their off-road course because they're like
Testing
reverse
against-
yeah,
engineering.
they're reverse engineering them. Yeah, so they've been caught with Wranglers on their courses.
Yeah, they all do that.
It's not illegal. I mean, it's not like we say it's them getting caught. It's like this is a normal thing.
And I guess for the spy photos too, it's like kind of like it builds buzz too.
Yeah.
I guess that's the
Yeah,
point that I didn't
it's a little
think
mystique. Ford also.
Yeah, I think not the whole thing. You want to just like
Yeah.
get little pieces, and then you want.
I
all
mean,
these-
really, it's like
you want us. To
we're
go
building
out-
this. That's
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
biggest thing with the spy car to me is that like we're building this, people.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like some nonsense we're talking about.
Right, and it gives us a chance to speculate on what they're gonna do, and then they're gonna hear all the. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Which is why we shouldn't give
And then,
Ford any free advertising.
And then we've talked about it before, but we actually have
Did you just say the F word?
technically we've seen a Bronco because they entered one into the Baja 1000.
Right.
It was obviously a pretty cut up Bronco, but it was the body and it had a lot of the components from the Bronco. So that's the closest we've seen to a production Bronco, minus the fact that it was not even remotely close to what a production Bronco.
Back to my
Right.
question 2 weeks ago. Can we get it in white?
Can you?
Oh my god. I believe those are renderings.
Yeah, everything's renderings right
I
now.
think those
Yeah.
are renderings. If
So-
they do, then it's from the Baja
Yeah.
1000.
But I'm excited. I'm super stoked.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna buy it, but
I'm gonna drive one though.
Yeah,
I might
absolutely.
buy one. I don't know.
That'd
I'm
be
kind
cool.
of looking for a 4x4.
Yeah.
Now that you guys are turning me on to overlanding a little bit more, and I'm getting pretty close to paying off the Miata.
I would. I mean,
gotta
if
have
I
a
was
toy.
in a situation where it was Ranger or Bronco, even not seeing the Bronco, but
You're going Bronco.
hearing about what's it's gonna be, there's no way I'm ever buying a Ranger.
Okay, how about Ranger Raptor versus Bronco?
Oh, Ranger Raptor.
It's probably the Ranger. If it was the V8, 100%.
Oh,
if it's the
obviously,
V6
yeah.
that it's been for a long time,
Yeah.
that would be a close one. But yeah,
Just because it doesn't have enough oomph
yeah.
for you?
Definitely. So actually, I have something to admit to you guys. I
Ooh,
don't know
yeah.
if I've
Here
ever
we go.
told you this before. Josh just well, I do talk about knobs quite a bit, and I am very fond of them. However, yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely
exactly.
not.
I just don't drive on that side of the car, Josh. Hate to disappoint
We're
you.
a left hand
For now.
side of the drive. I don't even know what that means. It feels like we're going to offend someone
Yeah,
very
yeah.
quickly.
We probably just offended all of the Australians in the office because they do drive on the other side of
They
the car.
drive on the other side of the
It's
car.
true.
Which I did.
But-
Jumping in there, Australian vehicles, I love Utes, but all the other vehicles are just insane.
Okay. Insane?
Insane.
Okay.
Like-
I thought you were going to say bad. I was about to
No.
be like,
Yeah.
boy.
There's-
Jeff and I have been
There's
talking.
good and
was about
bad.
to say, mate.
There's good and bad parts.
Jeff and I have been talking about how Jeff wants to get a Land Cruiser now.
I want an
And how
Australian one.
Ooh,
how sick
yeah.
would it be to get an actually Australian one because then you'd have to drive it right hand drive,
Yeah.
which would be even
That's
sicker.
Oh,
Just
so
manual right hand drive.
You could
Land Cruiser.
yourself go stop all the wildfires in Australia with that.
Brutal. Yeah,
I,
shifting with your left hand would be weird.
Yeah.
You know? No, you're wrong, Josh. The pedals are exactly the same.
Same. They
They
are
are.
the same.
I do have
But
experience
your shifter
actually.
is in.
Yeah, the shift pattern is still the same. So first is still all the way over to the left and
Oh,
up.
I didn't know the shift pattern is the same too.
The shift
I
pattern
didn't
is the
know
same,
that.
and
I-
the pedals are the same.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they reversed
Nope.
all of it.
No.
I knew the pedals weren't different, but I didn't realize that first is all the way on the
Yeah,
other side.
it's on the other side.
That's
No.
weird.
So it is an interesting experience. I do have experience driving in Australia, a manual car at that. And I have to say, while it takes some getting used to, one of the weirdest things about driving on that side of the car is,
You're not on the center line.
well, I mean, not only just the general orientation
Or
that
I
you
guess
have.
you would be on there.
But
Yeah, because
the-
you're driving on the
yeah.
opposite side.
The thing that trips me up is in the States I'm so used to like looking up and to the right to look into my rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm.
When you're driving on the right side of the car, you have to look up and to the left.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
weird.
it's like weird. And then you're coming to intersections and you have to look right before you look left.
Isn't there
instead of-
something about like when you
Look right, you'll be all right, mate.
Yeah. If you're looking, yeah. If you're looking up into the left, is that like you're thinking and trying to recall something, and looking up into the right is like you're thinking and you're
lying.
trying to lie and think about a lie. Yeah, it's one of it's either reverse of that or but that's different. Yeah, because you're
Interesting.
looking up and to the left.
Well, maybe I'm just more comfortable lying to myself than
All
I
right,
am.
Okay.
all right, Jeff, you were
Okay.
going to say
But
something.
anyway, you
We
guys,
rambled on.
I was going to admit something to you earlier. And this kind of goes back to when we were talking about the spy photos of the Bronco. But I actually used to drive high security vehicles, aka clandestine, pre-production, skirted vehicles.
No way.
Yeah,
I
don't
actually
know.
did know this about you.
Oh well then.
Yeah, you told me.
Also,
about
I
this.
did as well.
Okay, well then fine. Just ruin the show, you two.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to be a host on
I'm
OCN
shocked-
Drives,
I'm
go
shocked.
to our community now.
Oh my god. Oh
Jeff,
my
I'm
gosh.
shocked about this. Explain.
Oh my
this
gosh, I'm
mystical
so
job.
surprised.
Yeah.
Well, fine. I don't even
Is
want
it
to
for
tell you
Roush?
guys.
Were you doing it for Roush?
Yes, I don't even want to tell you. I don't even want to tell you guys about it
Tell the goddamn story.
anymore. There's no story to be told, except for the fact that these cars are tested in the wild because the companies that are contracted to do the durability testing and provide feedback to the manufacturer put upwards of 100,000 miles on them.
Okay.
And it doesn't get any better than using the real world for that.
Yeah. No.
You know, there's varying temperatures. The air quality differs from
different
time to time.
elevation.
Elevations, road surface. They run 23 hours a day. So there's a set of morning drivers who drive on a secret predetermined route, and then there's a set of like evening drivers that drive all night. And then the cars, unless they need service, oil change, or repair, they really don't.
Being a nighttime driver
They
would
don't really
suck.
go down.
Oh yeah, I would hate that.
That would be the worst job.
That was my shift. I was on the
Oh,
night
yeah,
shift.
that
So we
would
drive
suck.
from like 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. I'm not allowed to tell you where, but just know those cars are out there crawling around.
I'm gonna find them.
No, you can see them from time to time in Colorado.
I'm going to.
Just don't harass the drivers like you harass me.
Ah, well, okay. Well,
They didn't pay for that.
yeah.
It is
Do you
very
have to
dangerous.
fill out
You have to.
reports like after your drive? You have to fill out. Like
Yeah,
a-
there's a lot of
that's it,
paperwork
yeah.
involved.
Did you talk a lot about knobs and other things?
Unfortunately, I did not talk about knobs as much as I should have.
Jeff was.
That's
you were
why
probably
I'm on the show
You
now.
were probably pre-knob when you were doing this.
No, it was only I think just last year actually, around this
really?
time. Yeah, I was doing it in addition to this job.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that
I
is.
used to work 2 jobs to spend it on cars and
Nice.
to supply my habit.
I'm gonna have to get
my
another job to
gasoline
supply
habit.
my habit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
never going to be here. I'm quitting when I get the power wagon.
Follow
only
Alex's YouTube channel,
Yeah.
whatever he decides to name it. We were coming up with some ideas.
One of them was going to be free ball. And
Free Ball, and his last name is Ball.
yeah.
Oh,
BAHL.
you're creating your own. You're going rogue on us.
No,
Oh, okay.
not yet.
That's
He's
what
just
you said
adding.
no, and I said yes.
Yeah, it's
I was
like-
like, yes.
Perfect.
When it
But,
comes to the wagon, yeah. But we'll see when the wagon happens.
We'll see when the wagon happens. Graham, if you could buy another car right now, if you could trade in your Mercedes GLA,
This is the easiest question ever. He's just going to see the C8.
That's my
Which is
dream.
the answer for all three of us.
I know, but he can't get one right now.
Yeah.
True.
Let's say his car was tragically totaled
Okay.
in a. Well, he wasn't in it. He was just.
Knock on
the
wood.
car was out in the parking lot, and a piano fell onto it.
Right.
What is the vehicle you're buying?
What are you doing with that insurance money?
Does he? Oh, he has to be able to afford it, right? As opposed to just any car.
Yeah, it's me.
I mean, if you're a host at OCN Drives, let's face it, you can pretty much afford anything.
Yeah,
you
that's how
want,
that works, right?
Yeah. Except for Josh, we didn't.
I don't know. This is a good question.
Well, let's just start narrowing it down. Would
Well,
you stay crossover size, or would you want sports car?
I might go. I think I'm going sports car, or I'm going just
Because
a
you
hair,
have the truck too, so
or I'm
you're
just going
covered
hair
up.
bigger.
You're-
Well, I'm selling that, so
Oh, okay.
or I'm going a hair bigger. So
That's
on
a
the
tough one.
SUV side, so
Do that AMG we had. That was a nice one.
Ooh.
That is.
It was too boring. I'd rather have the Alpha.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Alpha is pretty nice.
But I also-
Stelvio Quadrifoglio, baby.
I also
do
wouldn't want the Alpha as my daily driver. That's like a second car. It doesn't feel like
Are
a
you
daily
kidding
driver.
me?
It wasn't.
The Alpha is totally a daily
the
driver.
inside of it was not nice at all. Like it just
No,
wasn't.
okay. Okay.
I've sat in,
Yeah.
in Hondas that are nicer on the inside.
Just
Whoa,
because
whoa.
the seats were firm and not built for Sasquatch.
True. That was one of my issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
it's
seat-
not built for you, and
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
But even
like,
then, it was just so sparse on the inside compared to the AMG.
It's so-
AMG was so much nicer.
yeah, there's so much stuff in there.
was the-
I
it-
get it.
the-
It's
the-
a difference. I
yeah.
like the minimalistic vibe that I get from
I
it.
mean, I would
Now-
take the AMG for everything that it is, except
The engine, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
engine,
only thing
but
that
the
was
engine
great-
is still great.
Yeah.
That's the best part
Yeah.
of the AMG.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the
No,
technology
actually,
is pretty nice.
I actually
like
think
the
in
technology
the
and the
case of
dashboard.
that AMG we had, I think the engine might have been the worst part of it. But it was still, which is, we keep saying that car was basically perfect.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at everything that it was, the engine was kind of the worst part because it was just kind of like boring. Like it was exciting, but it was like, we're like, if
It's
it was,
too polite.
It was so polite. It was a proper like gentleman.
I think
And
that would be-
that Alfa Romeo is like your daughter's boyfriend who plays in a garage band. Like it's the worst. It's just like you,
No, okay.
It's just chaos. It's just chaos, and it's great.
I think I would go a little bit smaller than that. I would think I would go with GLB, a new GLB.
Okay,
You
that
could
kinda
get
like
you could
that.
get
bounce
the
mode,
you
baby.
could get the bounce mode, the 45 with the bounce mode.
Yeah, I like that one.
Pretty slick.
That's pretty nice. The Alpha that we drove in, I
mean,
really
if you're
liked
willing,
that.
if you're willing to spend the money on like the same money on like that AMG we had, that's the same price as a 2019 63 wagon
I know, and that's the other
for
thing.
like with
That's-
like 5,000 miles on it.
that's my thing.
because
is
they don't
that's
hold
the
their
other one.
value at all. You
Yeah.
could just if you're gonna spend $70,000 to $90,000, you could just get the wagon.
Well, see, that's right over the price.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like mine is
expensive.
like right now is 60 to 70 is where
Yeah.
if my car,
You'd have to wheel and deal for one, but
yeah.
You know what? I'd say just take the money, use
Yeah.
it as a down payment on like a 911 or a Cayman or something.
the entire thing on the down payment.
Yeah, just the entire
Here's
thing
my
just a down payment.
90,000 down
No,
payment.
we were looking. We
No,
were,
for his GLA.
yeah, we were looking. We were looking the other day at was it a 911 GT2
Oh, yeah.
RS, and the
wouldn't-
down payment on it was $90,000. It was
Jesus.
$350,000.
I wouldn't blame you for a Cayenne. I mean, we're kind of Cayenne haters,
Yeah,
but like they don't hold their value at all. So
No.
getting like a Cayenne Turbo for that is totally possible.
but
Like
yeah,
a relatively
like
new one too.
yeah, like a used,
Yeah.
just slightly used.
Like if you got like a 2018 Cayenne Turbo, like that's like 600 horsepower.
I would-
that would be a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Even like getting a Macon with the Turbo S in
Yeah.
it, the highest level that they can go, that has a pretty nice engine in it.
You guys.
But-
it's like I don't even know you anymore. Talking about all these fast SUVs.
I mean, really, Graham, what you should do is just go get a GT350 because that would be way under your budget
Yeah.
and it would be sweet.
Yeah.
No.
Like you'd be just as happy at that.
Well, this is all a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Graham, I
That's
say
what I do.
you go
If I-
Porsche
if-
or you go like C63
C63 would
because
be
you
sweet.
got to keep the cars alive. Screw this fast SUV BS. SUVs should not be going fast, although they can and do it pretty well.
So do I go
It's
Alpha?
like
Do I go Alfa Romeo?
You could
Giulia
Quadrifoglio.
Quadrifoglio. C bello.
you could
C.
you could have the ultimate street cred and go out into the world and find a manual CTSV wagon. Because that would be sweet. The problem is they actually are about the same price.
Yeah, I was just
like
gonna
they
say.
stopped making them in 2014.
Yep.
So a 2014 one with like light miles on it, like under 10, is more expensive than the AMG.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but they're so sick.
That would be really
The
cool.
only manual hot wagon on the planet.
Yeah. All right. So
Now
we
you're
already
talking
know.
dirty.
We already know what you would buy, right?
Yeah,
away.
if I crash my truck, I'm going to get in the Power Wagon.
Yeah. What would you?
Period.
What would you get?
Me?
Yeah.
If I wrecked the Miata and got an insurance claim?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a tough one.
Well, I'm definitely going car. But
I'm gonna bring it up again. It's hard to say no to that 350. Like, God, they're nice.
True. I do
They're
like
so
me.
nice.
I do like me a GT350, especially with the flat plane crank.
Yeah.
That's just. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
That
But
would be nice.
I would actually, I don't know, Graham. I might actually try and use that as a down payment on like a used C63 AMG, and then maybe do an exhaust system on that. Or I know you guys are going to hate me, but I might say a ZL1 Camaro. Faster to 60 than a Hellcat, and it can go around a turn.
I'd rather do a C7 if I was going to go that route. If
C7's also an
going to
excellent
go
choice.
Camaro or that kind of sports car route, and you didn't want to do like the 350 or a Hellcat, because I'd rather have a Hellcat as well. Just for the Hellcat is slower in that it can't hook up at all, but that's what I love about the Hellcat's just funny. Like there's no humor in the Camaro. It's just a good car.
Bland.
Also, same with the Mustang. It's just a good car, but the Hellcat's just funny. Like there's just like you get in it and you would just smile every time.
The styling,
it's just like
the styling on the
the
ZL1 too is
Or an M2 competition.
M2 competition.
M2 competition
would be a sweet choice.
Except I hate kidney grills.
I think the competition.
Well, you
looks
don't
fine.
have to look at it.
It's true.
M2
I just
comps.
want
Like I don't have to look at you.
There's
gotta
so
be on
many
the inside.
sweet two-door sports cars right now. It's great.
I know.
Yes.
Like we're in the car
And
world
just
right
muscle
now.
cars.
We have some like really high highs and really low lows
Yeah.
at the same point,
It's true.
which is perhaps the other personalities out there are right in thinking that with the advent of electric and self-driving and crossover vehicles that there will be just kind of more of a divide between cars like that and enthusiast produced cars, and the enthusiast produced
big
cars
time.
like the ones that we love are just going to get sharper, more raw, like faster manual transmissions. I don't know if you guys read, but the new Cayman,
Yes.
the Porsche Cayman's going to have the flat H6 engine.
Nice.
And I think if I read it correctly, you might only be able to get that with a manual
Only with the manual? I was going to
for
say
the 6-cylinder one.
Porsche's very. They're not even. I wouldn't even say they're doing it slowly. Porsche's getting rid of manuals. Like they just are. Like a lot of the Porsches are going automatic only with their dual clutch because it's so good, and also it's just like more people are buying.
Yeah, but
automatics.
Porsche actually listens to enthusiasts at the same.
Our only hope is I can't think of who they are right now, but we love them. Who the James Bond car? Aston Martin. Aston Martin's like, we will be the last company to make a manual, I promise. And I'm like, I love you. Your cars are kind of crap. They're the most beautiful thing on earth, but they're kind of crap.
They are not crap. You take that back. I'm telling the Queen.
They devalue the most of any car on the planet.
God.
They're so pretty though, and they sound good. I've seen a DB9.
Oh, they sound so good.
I knew someone who had a DB9, and it's like,
Yeah, a DB9 is just a thing of beauty. It's just proof that
you could do one of those. Both of you. You could have used
Yes.
like V12 Vantage
or F-Type Jag.
Oh
Yes.
F-Type Jag. That's a good answer.
An F-Type, actually, I would go F-Type Jag because it would be similar to my Miata in that I could get a convertible,
Yeah.
just a little bigger, a little more horsepower, and then just that sound.
Wee.
The F-Type
best.
Jag is proof that God exists and wants car enthusiasts to be happy.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about, because I've been watching a lot of videos, and you guys are going to both moan at me because it's another Ford thing, but that's just what shows up in my newsfeed.
Does he work for Ford?
I know. I
think
wish.
so. He's a plant.
Yeah.
Lots
Of people are kind of now. People have their hands on 500s now. Like people are getting over 5,000 miles with them. It's kind of like the thing I've been noticing on YouTube is a lot of people are like doing 5,000 mile updates on the car, and people are drag racing them against Hellcats and the Camaro, the high horsepower Camaros, and the Ford is just crushing all of them. Just like it's not even a competition. Like it's just like, especially when you do like I watched a video this morning of people running drag races against it was a wide body red eye, so that's almost 800 horsepower Hellcat, which is about the same price as the Shelby, and then the ZR1 Camaro, which was significantly less horsepower than those two cars, but it's still a great car. it wasn't even close. Like, it was just like, it would be like two different. It would be like if you raced a golf cart versus a Formula One car. Like, it was just brutal, and it's just like, it's good, and everyone's like, this is a good car, which is spectacular, I think. And it's not what it sounded like it was going to be, which was, everyone's like, it's just another Hellcat. Like, Ford's made a Hellcat. It's got a stupid amount of horsepower. It's going to go fast in a straight line. And now that people have had it, they're like, this might be better on the track than the 350, is what people are saying. Like, this is just a better 350. It's like, what? Which is crazy.
That's a feat of engineering in its own way.
It's an incredible car, and everyone was like upset about the price of it. Like, oh, $20,000 for the carbon fiber. Like, this is crazy. And the $10,000 for the stripes is still stupid, but even then, if you option everything on it, it's about $100,000, and it's just about 1,000 times better than every other $100,000 sports car right now.
Except for the C8.
That's true. Well, we just don't know.
No
one has C8s right now,
and we haven't driven one yet.
Yeah, people wanting to get paid better and stuff, have healthcare. How dare those protesters ruin our C8?
Yes.
So they should just take a page from Tesla's book and just say, F everybody, we're manufacturing in China.
Yeah, really. No, the China
Just
manufacturing is just for China.
Yeah, because it just came out
Plus
today.
GM does that with Buick anyway.
Tesla just put out a new rendering of a Chinese-only vehicle that they're going to be making.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it looks like a bar of soap with wheels.
It's an accurate description.
So
Yeah. Jeff,
it's better than, let's just say this, it's better than the Cybertruck. Let's just say that much.
oh god, hey, at least the Bronco is gonna look better than a Cybertruck.
Yeah,
Cybertruck's a triangle. I discriminate against triangles. I like squares.
I need my box.
I
we're like ripping on the Cybertruck, but then it's like no one complains about how the regular looks. It's just a square box.
It's okay. Boxes with wheels are acceptable, but it's triangle with wheels.
Yeah, it's like this.
What kind of sexual deviant came up with that idea?
I literally never thought of that. I was like, because the Cybertruck is so polarizing, but when you just put it down to what shape it is, you're like, yeah, it's a triangle, and like a lot of us just drive like boxes.
It's like what's a
boxes
parallelogram?
Are more usable,
3D parallelogram.
Yeah,
it's that. Whatever that is called.
I don't know. I failed geometry.
Yeah, I'm not good at
or
the
trigonometry
math.
or whatever.
We're like a trapezoid, maybe.
Yeah, but a 3D version. Yeah,
it's two triangles put together. Trapezoid.
This is my thing. Okay, I am not a fan of harsh lines.
Well, you're a Porsche guy, so you like them curvy.
Yeah, I mean,
hourglass figure.
I mean, I liked Lamborghini in the 90s and 80s because of they had very it's still harsh lines, but they were soft harsh lines.
Interesting,
soft harsh,
which is a interesting thing to say because the Cybertruck I would say's harsh lines are pretty equivalent to the Lamborghinis, but it's a good example of doing it right and doing it wrong.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the Aventador and the Huracan look amazing, but boy are they pretty angular.
Yeah. Yes, they are very.
And then as you put it, like if you put one next to a Cybertruck, you'd be like, hey, those are kind of similar, but the Cybertruck still looks like shit.
Well, it just to me the Cybertruck just looks like it's half done. It's like not like
I agree. Yeah, it just doesn't look finished on the outside, and like every other Tesla on the inside.
On the inside, yeah. It's like, oops, we're just gonna throw a big screen there, and then
that's the thing I hate. That's the thing I hated about the AMG that we had was they just had the bolt-on iPad in the center console. I'm like, just spin. That's why like the Huracan looks really, or not. I mean the Taycan, the Porsche Taycan, their new electric car. At least they took the time and integrated the screens into their thing. The Audis all look really nice because they integrate the screens into the car.
Yeah.
And then like Teslas, I think would look so much nicer if they just integrated the screen into the car.
Just take a little
instead
bit
of just
money.
Literally bolted it on. I was like, I get that probably saved you like $500 a car, but it's like, just charge me. Like, it's one of those things like, just charge me. Like, the world would be better if you just charge me.
Just charge me.
Yep. It's like, I don't want you to save me money as a consumer. I'll make that decision. If the $500 extra is too much, then I won't pay for it.
We should come up with like a high-end buttons and knob kit for like Fiat Chrysler vehicles, and then just like
You know that's a thing, right?
Offer like an interior swap for your Tesla.
You know that's a thing, right?
Is it really?
High-end buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, no tactile
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
You can replace all your buttons and switches in like your F-150 with like aluminum.
Oh my god! I'm gonna
Aluminum
do that
or
to every single
titanium,
vehicle
yeah.
I own
Yeah,
from now
you can
on.
do that. It's a thing.
And you can also, some of them I've seen you can change, depending on what vehicle and all this other stuff, but you can change, like, some of them, like, I have problems with, like, the tactile feel of things. Like, if it doesn't give me, like, when I'm turning
Like if you
a knob,
spin something and it doesn't click.
It doesn't have a click.
It's
or
so
anything.
weird when it doesn't.
You can actually get a replacement for most vehicles. I think there's some that, obviously if they're newer, but you can get, for most of them, you can get like a nice aluminum dial and like have a click
I really
with it.
dislike anything that I dislike knobs that spin infinitely. I don't like those. Like, especially when it's like air conditioning or sound. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
But there's
okay,
a hard limit
Yeah.
that you set me, but I can spin this knob the whole way. I like when I can spin it without looking and go, I'm at the max.
Yeah.
I'm off. I'm on. Like when it can just spin, which I think the RAM that we have right now, I believe it does that. I think the volume knobs.
Well, it will say max, and then you can continue to spin it.
Yeah, you can spin it, but it does nothing. I don't like that. I just
agree.
want like a stop. Like you've hit it. I wish they'd actually put a stop in the middle. You're in the middle, and that's why I like the Tacomas, because it just feels better than the kind of more digital feeling infinite scrolling knob. Like, listen, I'm fine if you give me an infinite scroller if like either there's just so much scrolling that you have to, or it is an infinite scroll situation.
Well, yeah, and that's my thing.
But when you're like, hey, there's only 10 levels of air conditioning, but we're going to give you this knob that can spin forever. It's like, just put 10 clicks.
See, that's the thing.
We don't
is
need infinity knobs.
When you have knobs or dials or anything that does multi-functions, you have to have that infinite stuff, because you don't have a defined. But I agree with you. Like, if it's one thing and you're just talking about temperature or, fan speed or whatever, like, those ones you need to have a stop, because why I like that is, like, you could be, like, looking away but now you can just hey, we were full air.
Yeah, so like I said, we have a RAM right now. They just dropped it off today. It's exciting. It's gorgeous. And I was talking in the car with me buying a Power Wagon soon. I've been deciding on whether I do the big 12-inch touchscreen or just the 8-inch. And it's the more I'm thinking about it and just talking, like, I hate the infinite scroll. And the one thing I hated when we were sitting in it today was to do your air conditioning without using the touchscreen. They just gave you up and down arrows that are perfectly flush to the screen. And it's like, so you have to, there's no way to find those without looking, which is stupid. So I think at this point, I'm probably about 95% sure I'm getting the 8-inch screen, because it's just like, I just want the buttons. Like, and as pretty as that 12-inch screen is, it's so pretty. It makes that interior feel so much nicer, but it's like, it's just stupidly complicated. It's not even complicated. It's a great UI. The Uconnect is awesome. Like, you could put the Uconnect in a Ferrari and you'd be like, this is great. Like, so it's like, it is one of the nicest dashboards you can get in a car. But it's just like, I don't want to dig around. I don't want to take my eyes off the road to turn my heated seats on, to turn my heated steering wheel on. And because they did those flush buttons for your air conditioning and your fan speed, you still have to look, because they're not tactile.
They're not intuitive.
Yeah, they're like, so you did. I mean, obviously, it's pretty easy to train your brain to like just like know where the button is. Like, that's not a big ask. That's something you can. That's how we all type. No one looks at their keyboard and types, and if they do, there's issues there. Like, we can all type on a keyboard without looking, and keyboards don't really have a tactile, like, I know where I am. It's a lot of it is just muscle memory based on the size of the keyboard. So you could get, I guarantee that happens in those trucks. You'll just be like, I know if I put my hand here, I can do the temperature. But you can't get that out of a touchscreen. There's just no way. You have to look at a touchscreen to do it. And I think it's super dangerous.
Well, I think that's one of the challenges facing car companies now, because they want to be tech focused and futuristic because it's sexy, but
a lot of tech focused stuff
functional.
isn't safe. It's not safe and it's not functional.
I guess you could argue you could use the voice commands for stuff, but
everyone hates those.
I
don't think I've heard a single car manufacturer have a successful voice operated. Like my F-150 has it, and it's actually not terrible, But it's like I don't know why I use it, because in my car's case, I have a bunch of buttons and it's great. Like, I love it. So it's like everything I can do with the voice command is very easy for me to do with my hands safely.
What about motion commands? How do you feel about those?
I've never tried one in a car.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty silly. I've heard some people I think BMW has it.
Yeah,
And some of the
there's
BMW ones are not bad.
Like the volume, you can go like
Yeah,
this.
you can put your hand in front of the center console and spin it, and it'll volume up.
Yeah.
Super stupid. Just put a volume knob on your steering wheel. Get out of my way.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think that they might be cool sometimes.
Voice commands and motion commands I would only want in a car if it was literally something I couldn't do while I'm driving. Like, it's like, you cannot do this function if you're driving, kind of deal. Like it's like if there was a button that was too far away to reach. Or
Well, I would like if you have cars now, the heads up display. Like, I would want to be able to bring up the heads up display and bring down the heads up display with the motion control, and
that makes sense.
very very seldom things would I do. Like, maybe even turn off the display. Like, that's another thing that I've been slowly doing, is turning off my center display, just because I get distracted sometimes by it, or I'll just leave it on just a blank screen, or a simple screen that they have, not either through nav or something else. Just because.
one of the things I'm bummed out about buying a truck, I mean specifically the Power Wagon, but just a truck in general, is trucks are catching up. Like, their interiors have caught up to most cars. I still think they're lacking on kind of the fun technology, or not even fun technology, but like a heads-up display. There isn't a single truck in the industry that has a heads-up display currently, and that's something I would really like, because I've test driven a few cars with the heads-up. They're nice. They're great. They're really useful. They actually feel, again, safer, where it's like you don't have to look down to see your speed. It's right in front of you. Just look straight and you'll be good.
It has to be a limited number of things.
And there's obviously, I think there's a couple companies that have gone too far. I think there's a couple BMWs where the heads-up display is like your entire windows. Yeah. You can't see. It's been a complaint about a couple cars. So it's like there's obviously a give and take, but...
So real quick, you're actually incorrect.
The Raptor got one?
Nope, the Silverado.
Silverado's got one? The new
Has a
Silverado?
heads-up display,
okay.
yeah.
I'm not buying
burn
a Silverado.
on the Ford.
I'm not buying a Silverado.
What?
Period. But but that's the only one, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Ford has one, but
no, I've driven a new Ford. None of them have them. I wouldn't be surprised if the new Fords with the 2021 F1s that are getting redone right now.
Yeah, I bet
wouldn't be
do.
surprised if they're putting like a 15-inch monitor.
Yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
It's huge. So I would assume the new F1s are going to have them.
Are they going with digital displays?
Yeah, so the smallest screen you'll be able to get is an 8-inch, which is their biggest screen currently.
Right.
And then you can do a 12-inch, which will equal to what the RAM has, and then they're offering a 15-inch as well, which I don't even know how that's going to work. Like, that's huge. That's going to be angled, and it's going to be the entire center console.
Dude, that's big enough.
It's aggressive.
If you watch OCN drives on that, that's big enough to see our crotch cam.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I want to see that while I'm driving.
That one's going to be really weird, the 15-inch. Even the one thing that's always been weird to me about touchscreens and trucks is that touchscreens are not work truck friendly at all. No. Like, a lot of people, and it's actually one of the reasons there's still the shifters on the wheels and stuff.
Right.
And why buttons in trucks are so big is because a lot of trucks are still made for people who wear gloves.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And it's people who wear gloves for work, or I mean, some people just wear gloves when they drive. Mm-hmm. And that's why trucks for a long time are all built to be usable. Even when you get in one of the nicer Fords that take the shifter and put it down in the middle, they're still huge. They're massive because they're designed for you to work them with gloves. So going to Ford with a 15-inch screen, yes, that's going to be really nice and luxurious, but it's this is useless for my gloves.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Trucks are just getting nicer. We have that Laramie Longhorn right now. Holy crap, is it nice?
It's like... Yeah.
It's just
like Mercedes that
wood,
tows.
Yeah, there's wood in it, the beautiful brown leather. It's all patterned as well. They have stitchings of Longhorns in it. It's just gorgeous.
It's about as American as sitting in like a baseball
It is.
glove. Yeah, it's awesome.
It is such a nice truck. It's got ram boxes, sure, just like
We know how you feel about ram boxes, Alex.
gets me going. But I don't know. I love where trucks are going. I love that trucks are awesome right now. I love that mid-sized trucks are awesome.
Yeah, I was
right
going to
now.
say I love that mid-sized trucks are making a comeback.
We'll see how that pans out in the long run with gas being an issue, but because our Laramie today has the 6.4 liter. No, is it the 5.7 liter
Perfect.
V8 Hemi?
You need
which
that.
is great,
It's fine.
but it's terrible gas mileage.
Gas is cheap right now. I
Yeah,
don't know what
gas
you're talking
is-
about
gas
as
is
an
cheap.
issue.
But it's
Coming
like,
from the guy who's going to buy a Power Wagon, too.
oh yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Although my big V8 is more efficient than your small V8, so what up? And my current F1 is so old and is just a regular V6 that it gets worse gas
Good
mileage
mileage
than
than
the.
new ones.
And when I discovered recently that I fit in Forerunners, which has been a kind of a mental battle for me because I always kind of wanted to downsize from the F1. And I test drove a Forerunner and I loved it. But one of the big things of why I'm sticking with the Power Wagon is the Power Wagon gets better gas mileage. Because the Forerunner is so old.
Yep.
Do something about it.
Toyota's
Toyota.
not going to.
It's still a 5-speed. They haven't even given it the 6-speed
Oh my
that the Tacoma has. It's brutal.
Welcome to Toyota.
You'd get like 2 extra miles per gallon if they just put a 6th gear in. Like, it's so lazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, because your new Tahoe.
Yeah.
Taco, sorry. Taco. Sorry.
But I love trucks.
I was trying to put Taco and Toyota together, but
If I crashed my F1 today though and wasn't getting a Power Wagon,
Yeah.
that'd be a tough question what I'd get. Based on what I could afford, it would also depend on the year. Like if I crashed it today, I don't think I could just go get a GT350 because I have to make it through winter. That car's not going to be safe on the streets. Yeah, that's an easy pick. Yeah, but if I was to go sports car instead of
Really?
truck,
You would go
which is what I
another
would
Taco
do,
right
if
away.
that would be my 2 options. I'm either getting the Power Wagon or I'm getting a stupid sports car. It'd be tough to pick, like, because I'd want to drive it year round, which eliminates a lot of cars. Like lots. I mean, lots of people do. I see people drive Mustangs every day when there's 6 feet of snow on the ground.
True.
I mean, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
all about tires,
actually
baby.
watched a lot of videos of people who daily drive 350s in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, because the tires are so wide on it, that as long as you get really nice winter tires, you're kind of fine.
Yeah,
Like
oh,
as long as
yeah.
you don't like put the pedal to the floor, like
Right,
you're gonna
yeah,
die if
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
But like if you just drive it like a regular person and you have winter tires, the tires are just so wide on that car that it's like pretty good.
The problem is, if you
But
get
it's-
in that, you don't want to drive like a regular person.
True. And it's also a big issue I've seen is a lot of the sports cars are so low that if you do live in a heavily snowed state, that's actually a problem. Like it just is a problem. It's not terrible. It's not. There's definitely times when it has been. I mean, when I have to use 4-wheel drive to get out of my neighborhood in an F-150, like I'm not getting out of my neighborhood in a GT350. It's not happening.
So, Alex, if you go ahead and get that GT350, I'm going to volunteer Josh to come pick you up if it's
Perfect.
a blizzard.
go.
You're on. I'm on the way, right? That's pretty close.
That's close enough.
Loman could come get
We're in
me.
the same state.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Same direction. So
Same direction. Yeah. So go ahead and get that 350.
I do.
Man.
I love the 350 a lot. I love the Hellcat a lot. But they're just silly, and they're not. Yeah, they're honestly the used ones. New, they are very expensive. Like you can get a Hellcat for like 100,000 now, like the Red Eye Hellcats with the 800 horsepower. But I think that's rightfully so. But like a used like 2015, which was like the first gen Hellcat, they're with like 30,000 miles on them. You can get them for like under 40 now, which is great. Like that's pretty cheap for what it is, which is a suicide
True.
machine.
Although that is a hard 30,000 miles.
That is. That's what has concerned me about buying a used sports car, especially one with like a supercharger on it. Is just like, God, the person who drove this before me, did they just beat the crap out of it? Like, just beat the living
Yes,
crap
because
out of
that's
it.
what you're going to do with
Yeah,
it when you
exactly.
buy it.
So it's like, ugh, like I get why they devalue so much, or like why the mystery of why the AMG wagon does not hold its value at all.
Right.
You can find a brand new 2019 one with 0 miles on it, and somehow it's devalued like 10 grand.
Yeah.
It's never left a show floor, and somehow it's lost like 10 grand.
But see, that's also the good thing.
No, it's great for us. Yeah.
But also, that's why I think another car I would consider picking up if the Miata happened to be in a kind of a tragic incident would be like maybe an older E550 E-Class with the V8 twin turbo V8.
You could do the AMG A45.
I could do the AMG, but
the super hatch.
I could do that, or I think I might just stick with the regular E550 Benz because, and then just throw a tune on it.
That's what your grandfather drives.
Exactly. That's who I wanted to be driving it before me.
You want to be an
and then
old
I'm going to
man?
put a tune on it. I am an old man.
Buy a bunch of Brabus parts for your Mercedes.
I'm an old man trapped in a young man's body. If I could have it my way,
I was actually going to say when you were thinking about
I'm the only one who drives a manual right now, so that's the oldest technology.
Yeah, but I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if you went old, like if you got like
NB Miata.
No, not even Miata. I was just like old kind of classic car.
1963 Ford
your
Galaxy.
MG.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely going MG. I need help in that department.
No, I was thinking like I wouldn't be surprised if you were like in an old Firebird or an old Camaro or an old Mustang.
It's true.
Yeah, something like that. Like
T-tops.
that would
T-tops.
fit who you are so perfectly.
T-tops.
Well, thank you.
And it would be sweet.
Thank you. I'll have to start working on my mullet again.
Yeah.
If that's the case. No, I think I'll go MG or old Fiat 124 Spider or old Alfa Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Alpha.
You'd have a lot of fun in
time-wise,
like a BRZ, which would be Miata-ish very much.
Yeah,
But like a BRZ, you want that convertible top though.
Yeah, I like that. Honestly, once you've experienced front engine, manual transmission, rear wheel drive, and top down, and what our associates think of top down cars, it's hard to go back. Like it's
nice.
sublime.
Yes.
It's hard. Alex,
I can't do it. I'm too tall.
It hurts my heart that you can't own a Miata.
Yeah, I would absolutely. I would trade my motorcycle in for a Miata right now if I could. Yeah, 100%. Because the Miata is so fun, and it's just like one of the.
Yeah, but you have the ultimate top down in a motorcycle.
I know, but it's too ultimate because I can't ride it right now because it's 4 degrees in the morning, which is miserable.
Yeah.
Jeff can still drive.
Yeah.
Jeff could still drive the Miata in 24-degree weather, and he's fine. Jeff could drive the Miata with the top down at 24, and he'll be kind of uncomfortable. That's it.
I do admit to doing
That's my
yeah.
biggest issue.
Windows up, heat, full blast.
I absolutely love my motorcycle,
I hate that
and I will
idea.
forever own a motorcycle in my life. But like, God, it sucks to like have to drive my.
Okay,
F-150
story about
It's so boring.
convertibles with top down and being cold. I've gone on a couple of vacations, and my father loves to rent convertibles. So we were in Oregon, and we were going to my cousin's wedding, and he rented a convertible, and it was nice because we were in, basically sea level, and then we drove up about probably 4,000 feet, and it started snowing, and he kept the top down, and my body was confused because it was like blowing hot air, and then the back of my body was frozen.
I can't tell if you're trying to tell a story about how convertibles are weird in that situation, or just how kind of crappy your dad is for leaving it down.
My dad is.
Hey, I'm sure his dad is a fine human being.
He's a great
He's
human
just
being.
got a
He just has
frozen
a
sun
lot of
at the
course.
back.
But I had like the back of my hair had like icicles on it because the front had snow that had melted because of the heat, and then the back it was so cold it froze.
I think that's a new type of mullet.
Yeah,
you
it's
just
a
came
new
up
style.
Business up front, ice castle in the back.
I think if
Stylish.
anything, that's not a new type of mullet because that sounds exactly what rednecks do: is drive convertibles in the winter.
Gosh.
And on that note,
But a lot of the convertibles are getting cool technology. A lot of the high-end ones are doing. I think they're just calling them air scarves, where they have a heater right on. It sits in between your seat and the headrest, and it's a heater now, and that's like people say that changes
Oh, yeah.
convertibles totally.
That would change my mullet right away. That would get rid of the icicles. In the
So
back.
I've seen those in Beamers and Mercedes now.
Yeah.
They look hideous.
In the Z4? Or in the
I think
6?
nicer ones.
6
Yeah.
or 8, yeah.
Yeah, it's well definitely one a Nick scarf or whatever they're calling it. I think is only really being found in like super high end ones. They haven't trickled down. It's not exactly a amazing piece of technology.
Right.
It's-
Yeah.
We're blowing hot air at your neck. Like, let's calm down. But right now, I think it's pretty much only found in like $80,000 cars.
Yeah.
The Laramie we have has heated and cooled seats in the back.
In the
that's
back.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
put grill marks
It
on
is
your ass.
it is a base. So that truck with no options
That's
was
a father's truck.
$54,000, and our truck has been optioned up to
We have
70.
70,000.
It was like 72. It was that truck no options is 54, and it's been optioned up to 72. It's a $20,000
20,
options.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, God bless America for giving us that many options.
I know, right?
If
This
if
is a nation of
If
choice.
this was Soviet Russia, we would just be paid for 70,000 to no options.
We would only
Yeah,
have heated
good
seats
pick.
up front, like
Yeah.
some sort of proletariat scum.
Exactly. The Raptor I test drove.
You just have
recently-
vodka in the back. That's your
The,
warming.
the, Ra- the
stuff.
Raptor I test drove recently had heated and cool in the back too.
Did it?
Yeah,
I don't like my passengers that much. I don't need that.
it's true.
Yeah, me neither. Again,
I don't have enough friends.
I actually
for
think
those
I should
seats to
just
be
go
useful,
two-seater.
so.
I don't like my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. I don't like you. Not you. I'm talking to him. Okay.
Exactly. Hey,
On
But
that note,
I just love that technology, and we've been talking about how we like and dislike certain parts of technology. I love that all cars across the board are just getting nicer. Like it's like I feel like the collection of like
I feel like the speed at which the R&D is happening is a lot faster than where it was.
I also think car
prior
companies are just more
2018.
willing to put that in. I mean, obviously, cars are getting more expensive because of this.
Yeah, but prior to 2008, like it still was a long time for R&D for cars to get
Yeah.
through all that stuff, and after all that debacle, I feel like the car companies are finally starting to get to where it's now like a year and a half to 3 years, and even some of them are even a little bit faster than that from actual R&D to getting implemented, which allows for technology to come into those things. And
yeah,
get
but that's
played
also
into
a
it so
problem
much.
though too, because like
Agreed.
if you look at your iPhone,
Yeah,
right,
cars are.
how quickly does your iPhone become obsolete, and how quickly does the battery just become shit?
I agree.
So if I was ever gonna buy a Tesla, that's why I would never buy a used Tesla.
But cars are.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Also, but cars are in a cool spot. Whereas it's interesting to compare them to technology because when I was looking at Audis at one point, they were telling me that the majority of the Audi's business is now leases because Audi is pushing technology so
Yep,
much harder
yep.
than most other companies that people just want to lease because they just want a new Audi every year because it's like an iPhone. But the interesting thing is that as long as you're not doing an electric car, the engines and the chassis and all the suspension and stuff, that stuff is so good now.
It's true.
Which has been a difference because
Especially
in the
transmissions.
past, cars were pretty much designed to fail because they wanted you to buy more cars. But companies finally figured out that if they just build cars to be basically indestructible unless you crash them, if you just drive a car and you do all of its maintenance, like Josh's truck can go like freaking million miles. It's ridiculous.
yeah, but
like-
that doesn't count because that's always
Are you gonna
Toyota's
get
always
there?
been able to.
No, but even cars
Yes.
that
but
don't
like
have
a Dodge Dart still
Yeah.
will go
It's-
200,000
yeah,
miles
it's
if you take care of it.
almost every Toyota and Honda, as long as you take care of it, it's gonna last longer than you are gonna last. Probably.
That's going to be, what, 10 plus years
Yeah.
at least?
It depends on what do you mean by
Yeah.
how long we're going to
You
last.
think he's gonna do 100,000 miles a year if he did 10 years?
No, I said easily 10 plus
Josh,
years.
I don't want to be rude to you. You will be dead before your Tacoma is dead. yeah. As long as you take care of it. Like it's a depressing part of life, but your Tacoma's you've bought the equivalent of like a macaw. Birds that live for freaking ever. It's
True.
Whoa,
it's
going
gonna
with the
outlive you.
rare bird reference in here. Right.
And that's just like I don't want this money in my pockets anymore trim. That's what the TRD Pro is. Like, this money's burning a hole in my pockets.
My holes in my pockets.
It's like...
Yeah. Well, one thing's for certain. We are great at spending money. I think we're out of time, boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you enjoyed the podcast, again, be sure to subscribe to our channel, ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. You have the option to be notified on occasional videos or all of them. Please select all of them. It's what helps us get through the day. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Just want to say thanks to Josh, actually. As much as we like to poke fun at him, he does do a great job twisting those knobs and keeping us on the air. Fiat Chrysler Automobile for letting us get behind the wheel of some of their new cars, including this new Ram Longhorn Laramie, which we'll be talking more about in the future, and that Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, which we still need to talk about that. And ourcommunitynow.com, where you can read more on our thoughts on cars, culture, food, and more. They're the ones that make this all possible. They let us spit into these mics at least once a month or once a week, and couldn't be happier with that. Yeah. One last thing. Instagram. Can't forget the Instagram.
OCN Drives.
Follow us on follow us on Instagram at OCN Drives, where you can find car memes, car news, mainly Graham's thoughts, which can be kind of dark and twisted, but I like it. And I think we're going to call it good. I'm your host, Jeff Erbert. Thanks for listening to another episode of OCN Drives.
Peace.
Coming to you from the deep. This has been OCN Drives, brought to you by Our Community Now. Please visit us at ourcommunitynow.com and check out them socials.